and thanks for joining us this hour on African News 24 TV. I'm Mary Adam. In this bulletin, we bring you the latest from Lagos and beyond. The headlines. Senate approved the appointment of Professor Joash Amupitan as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Nigeria Medical Association says leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is medically fit to stand trial. Group 6 Senate probe as 30 billion naira contract scandal rocks Ministry of Aviation. And the news in full. The Senate has approved the appointment of Professor Joash Amupitan as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The approval came after the screening by the Green Chambers, where Amupitan was grilled by the lawmakers. During the screening exercise, the lawmakers questioned Amupitan's partisanship and readiness to strengthen Nigeria's electoral process. He denied links with any of the political parties or their candidates. Professor Amupitan also pledged his commitment to strengthening the integrity of the commission, promising to carry out a comprehensive audit of INEC's 2023 election logistics to identify and correct operational lapses. He also called for the establishment of an Electoral Offences Commission to handle investigations and prosecutions, saying INEC lacks the capacity for that responsibility.
Excellency, for now, that is the brief about who am I. We have further details in my CV. After the conclusion of the screening exercise, I dare to ask, will the Senate approve the confirmation of the nomination of Professor Joash Amupitan, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for appointment as the chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Professor Joash Amupitan, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for appointment as chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, is hereby approved.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission has met with civil society groups and media representatives to review preparation for upcoming off-cycle elections. Acting Chairman May Agbamuche Mbo said the engagement was part of efforts to ensure transparency, effective logistics, and credible polls. The leadership of the civil society groups called for stronger election management at local levels. Still on elections, ahead of the governorship poll in Anambra State, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is fully ready for the exercise. The commission disclosed that all necessary arrangements are in place to ensure a free, fair, and credible process for the election slated for November 8th. Our correspondent reports that INEC made this known at a dialogue session with civil society organizations in Abuja.
Meeting. This time, the civil society organizations and media executives are in attendance as the Commission updates stakeholders on key activities ahead of the off-cycle elections, the continuous voters registration exercise, and requests for registration of political parties. Civil society organizations called on INEC to strengthen elections at the subnational levels.
The Commission has been working assiduously and making arrangements for the successful conduct of the Anambra State governorship election and have had several engagements.
The internal crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party has deepened as its national chairman, Umar Damagom, clashed with the party's legal advisor over who should represent the PDP in court. The disagreement disrupted proceedings in an ongoing case, forcing the judge to adjourn till Thursday and direct both sides to resolve the issue of legal representation within 24 hours. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, reacting after the adjournment, expressed confidence that justice will prevail, describing the delay as purely procedural. The House of Representatives has ordered a probe into the abandoned $35 million brass modular refinery project in Bayelsa State. Lawmakers described the project as economic sabotage. A member, Billy Osawuru, revealed that despite huge investment by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, no work has been done on site. The House has directed its committees on petroleum resources and legislative compliance to investigate and report back within 4 weeks. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is medically fit to stand trial. That is according to the Nigerian Medical Association following an order by a federal high court which ordered the association to do a comprehensive health assessment of the IPOB leader. NMA says Kanu's condition does not pose any immediate danger to his life. The evaluation followed a directive issued by Justice James Omotosho after a conflicting medical reports were presented by both the defense and prosecution. The NMA's report was presented to the court during proceedings through the prosecution team led by Chief Adegboyega Awomolo. The medical board stated that while the IPOB leader has some health concerns, they are being effectively managed and do not impair his ability to participate in legal proceedings. Relying on the report, Justice Omotosho ruled that Kanu is fit to continue his trial on terrorism-related charges. The Federal Ministry of Education has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing girls' education and empowerment as Nigeria joined the rest of the world to mark the 2025 International Day of the Girl Child. The event, held at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja, had the theme, "The Girl I Am, the Change I Lead." Our correspondent reports that the celebration brought together government officials, development partners, and students to highlight the importance of empowering girls through inclusive and equitable education.
The conference hall of the Federal Ministry of Education came alive with messages of hope and determination as stakeholders gathered to celebrate the girl child and reaffirm Nigeria's commitment to her growth and empowerment.
The Federal Ministry of Education will reaffirm our commitment to strengthening the girl-friendly policies and, most importantly, listening to girls' voices.
Professor Hamad outlined key initiatives by the federal government, including the National Policy on Gender Education and the Adolescent Girl Initiative.
Our ministry is committed to creating an enabling environment that supports girls' education.
National Project Coordinator of Agile, Amina Buba Haruna, emphasized the need for collective action, urging parents, teachers, and community leaders to nurture girls' confidence and leadership potential.
Never doubt who you are. Your dreams are valid. Your voice matters, and your presence makes a difference.
UNICEF reaffirmed the organization's partnership with Nigeria in advancing girls' education, especially in conflict-affected areas.
There is indeed an evidence to show that investing in education for girls will reduce not only their vulnerability, but also provide an opportunity for girls to participate and contribute to national development.
As Nigeria joins the global community in celebrating the girl child, the message remains clear. Empowering girls today means securing a stronger, more equitable future for the nation.
World leaders have renewed their commitment to global cooperation in the fight against terrorism at the 10th Akwaba Security Summit. Nigeria's Defense Minister Mohammed Abubakar said the summit, which drew several West African heads of state, focused on intelligence sharing and coordinated counterterrorism efforts. He noted that the spread of extremism across borders demands joint actions, while Nigeria stands to benefit from the renewed global focus on West Africa. Retired police officers staged a protest at the National Assembly demanding removal from the contributory pension scheme, which they described as unfair and exploitative. Carrying placards condemning the scheme, the retirees said decades of service have left many living in poverty, while some senior officers allegedly continue to benefit from the scheme. They vowed to continue their protest until the government addresses their demands and reforms the pension system. The executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, has been re-elected as president of the Network of Anti-Corruption Institutions in West Africa. The re-election took place during the organization's 7th Annual General Assembly held in Abuja, where member states also adopted new ECOWAS guidelines on borderless investigations, asset tracing, recovery, and management. The event brought together anti-corruption chiefs from across the sub-region. We have more in this next report.
It was a moment of recognition and renewed commitment in Abuja as leaders of anti-corruption institutions from ECOWAS member states unanimously re-elected the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, for another 3-term as president of the Network of Anti-Corruption Institutions in West Africa. The decision, described as a consensus renewal of mandates, followed what delegates called Olukoyede's outstanding leadership and coordination in combating trans-border economic and financial crimes across the sub-region.
Let us renew our collective pledge to build a West Africa united, not merely by geography or trade, but bound by integrity, trust, and justice.
The Assembly also adopted ECOWAS guidelines on borderless investigation, assets tracing, recovery, and management. Senator Joash Amupitan, who represented President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, commended the forum for strengthening regional cooperation in the fight against corruption, organized crime, and resource thefts.
No country can single-handedly win the battle against illicit flows.
Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Nnamdi Kanu, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to support member states in implementing the new anti-corruption guidelines and enhancing cross-border investigations.
Corruption is not confined by physical borders. It is a transnational issue that requires a coordinated response.
New institutions, including Nigeria's Code of Conduct, Bureau, and CPC Cabo Verde, were also admitted as members of NACIWA. As the network closes another assembly with renewed leadership and vision, stakeholders say the coming years will test regions' resolve to curb corruption and illicit financial flows.
As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the 80th anniversary of World Food Day, the country faces a sobering reality. Over 30 million of its citizens are grappling with acute food insecurity. This report explores the root causes of the crisis, the efforts being made to turn the tide, and the path forward towards a food-secure future for all Nigerians.
Data according to the United Nations World Food Programme says 30.6 million Nigerians face acute food insecurity. Experts blame on many factors, which include the security challenges in the North and Middle Belt, post-harvest losses, poor storage facility, and a couple of other issues. Over the years, there have been efforts at boosting food production in Nigeria, taking advantage of its over 70 million hectares of land, multiple agroecological zones, and a climate favorable for year-round farming. There have been several other such interventions by governments at council, state, and federal levels, including the Produce for Lagos program and the 500 billion naira guarantee fund scheme by the Lagos state government. In September, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Yari, said the prices of food items have crashed across the country, but some Nigerians differ, saying they are yet to feel the ease.
Before, we said chicken for it before, but now we sell 5,000 naira.
This one, before at the selling 300, now at the selling 500 because we know it don't cost. Down at the selling, before at the selling 3,500, now at the selling 6,000. Everything don't cost.
About 2 months ago, we are buying the food like rice or bag of rice is 70-something thousand naira, like 75, 78, 73. But now 60, 62, 50, 55 safe. So if I look, it's gone down now. Not to say like if you have increasing the price now.
2025 marks the 80th anniversary of the annual World Food Day, which is celebrated on October the 16th every year. This year with the theme, Hand in Hand for Better Food and a Better Future, the United Nations target building a peaceful, sustainable and food-secure future where everyone has access to a healthy diet. To achieve this, experts suggest the way forward must be comprehensive, from tackling insecurity to investing in climate resilience farming to improving storage, irrigation, and transportation systems. That's in addition to strengthening farmers' cooperatives, access to finance and research. With the right investment, policies, and protection for its farmers, Nigeria may be on its way from food insecurity to food sovereignty. Because in a nation so richly blessed, no one should go hungry.
The chairman of Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited, High Chief Government Ekpemu Polo, also known as Tom Polo, has donated 10 billion naira to support security operations in Delta State. The pledge was announced during the formal launch of the Delta State Security Trust Fund at the Government House, Asaba. Let's go on this break. When we return, we'll tell you about the investigation into Air Peace aircraft runway overrun. That's on Business News. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Senate has commenced an investigation into the Air Peace aircraft runway overrun at the Port Harcourt International Airport in Rivers State. The decision followed a motion sponsored by Senator Buhari Abdul Fatai amid growing concerns over safety lapses, substance abuse, and weak oversight in Nigeria's aviation sector. Citing the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau report on June the 22nd, incidents involving an Air Peace Boeing 737-500 aircraft, Abdul Fatai said that although no casualties were recorded, the findings revealed serious safety gaps such as poor runway maintenance, inadequate lighting, and insufficient regulatory supervision. Abdul Fatai noted that Nigeria has recently recorded a rise in runway-related incidents and near misses, warning that failure to address these issues could erode public confidence and endanger lives. Still on investigation, the Coalition Against Malpractices and Corruption, COMAC, has urged the federal government to investigate the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development over alleged procurement breaches amounting to 30 billion naira. We have more details in this report.
And corruption, COMAC, has urged the federal government to investigate the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development over alleged procurement breaches amounting to 30 billion naira. The coalition, which includes the Center for Democracy and Human Rights, SEDO, the Association of Media Practitioners in Oil and Gas Producing Areas, AMEPROGRAS, and the Arewa Youth Alliance for Progress and Development, is also calling for the suspension and probe of the ministry's permanent secretary, Ibrahim Kana, for alleged abuse of office and failure to declare assets. At a press conference in Abuja, COMAC convener Ode Otunu said the group has submitted a Freedom of Information request seeking details of contracts and payments made by the ministry. Otunu alleged that preliminary findings revealed contract awards to non-existent and newly registered companies in violation of the Public Procurement Act of 2007.
Our FOI request was following our investigations, which uncovered extensive violation of the Public Procurement Act 2007 by senior officials of the ministry in the award and payment of multi-billion naira contracts to non-existent companies. These companies don't exist. There are no evidence of tax payments, or even registration, but monies were paid to these companies. Newly registered entities with no track record, tax non-compliant firms, and companies whose business objectives are grossly misaligned with the contract awarded to them, amounting to over 30 billion naira.
Outside our shores, a federal judge in California, United States, has ordered President Donald Trump's administration to halt mass layoffs of federal workers during a partial government shutdown. During a hearing in San Francisco, U.S. District Judge Susan Lins granted a request by 2 unions to block layoffs at more than 30 federal agencies while the case proceeds. The decision is likely to be appealed quickly, but it offers a reprieve for federal workers facing a nearly year-long push by the Trump administration to slash their ranks. The White House said last week that it had begun substantial layoffs across the U.S. government, as Trump followed through on threats to cut the federal workforce during the government's shutdown, now in its 15th day. The African Union has suspended Madagascar after a coup that ousted President Andry Rajoelina. Madagascar's new military ruler, Michael Rajoelina, said he would soon be sworn in as the country's president. Rajoelina, who was impeached by lawmakers after fleeing the country last weekend, has condemned the takeover and refused to step down, despite Gen Z's demonstrations demanding his resignation. A spokesperson for the African Union said the bloc had suspended Madagascar with immediate effect following the coup, without sharing further details. And in sports, Morocco booked a historic place in the Under-20 World Cup final after defeating France 5-4 on penalties on Wednesday night. Substitute goalkeeper Abdulhakim El-Mesbihahi emerged as the hero coming off the bench late in extra time to make the decisive save in the shootout. The victory sends Morocco to its first ever final at the tournament, where they will face Argentina, who narrowly defeated Colombia 1-0 to reach their 8th final. Morocco had taken the lead in the 32nd minute through an own goal by French goalkeeper Lisandro Olmeta, before Lucas Michael drew France level in the 59th minute. With the match tied 1-1 after regulation and extra time, Moroccan coach Mohamed Wabi introduced El Mesbahi specifically for the penalty shootout. Let's get on the entertainment scene. Fawaz Akoshile is standing by to keep you updated on the latest in the world of entertainment.
Thank you, Mary. Nigerian Afrobeat star Sheishe has made a stunning return to the spotlight, ushering in what she calls a new era. In a recent sit-down with Chide Jidenwo, the singer opened up about her personal growth, motherhood, spirituality, and the emotional journey that has shaped her views on men and relationships. Speaking candidly, Sheishe revealed that her past resentment towards men stemmed from her complicated relationship with her father. My spirituality has transformed, and I'm vibrating on a completely different level now. I actually feel very comfortable with men. I love all men. It's a man's world, she said. The interview offered fans a deep look into her evolution as a woman, an artist, and as a mother navigating fame and self-discovery. Sheishe has also disclosed that she is not married to the father of her child, explaining, "That is a technical issue, you understand? He's great, he's cool, he's around." While she did not address her long-standing feud with fellow artist Tiwa Savage, which once made headlines after their infamous salon altercations, fans speculate that healing and reconciliation might be on the horizon. In a twist that has left fans both stunned and delighted, Big Brother Naija stars Mercy Eke and Tacha seem to have buried their hatchets after years of rivalry. The Pepper Dem season queens, once known for their fiery confrontations, have been publicly exchanging affectionate messages online. Mercy recently took to X, formerly Twitter, to celebrate Tacha, posting, "I can't wait for the big announcement, my baby. You deserve it, Tacha. I owe you one." Tacha warmly responded, quoting the post with, "Mercy Lambo for a reason. I know you really wanted to make that flight." The internet, understandably, went wild. For context, Mercy and Tacha's rivalry dominated their Big Brother Naija season, accumulating a heated clash that led to Tacha's disqualification just days before the finale. Mercy went on to win the show, becoming the first female winner in the show's history. Over the years, their fan bases, the Titans and Mercenaries, have continued the feud online, but now it seems the ice might finally be melting. Whether this marks the start of a genuine friendship, a joint project, or simply mutual respect,
One thing is clear, the queens are showing growth and maturity. What do you think? Is this reconciliation real or is it just for the cameras? Back to you, Mary.
And that's a wrap on today's broadcast. Stay glued to African News 24 TV for more updates on the stories shaping our world. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and follow us on all our social media platforms for the latest news. Thanks for watching. I'm Mary Adam. Bye for now.